Okay, this should be a lot easier now. I had to move my microphone so everything got broken up there for a moment. But it's I, Brother Exhaustus. I've returned. I did move things around a little bit like we talked about last time. And I'm excited for the stream. Oh my god, why is it still charging? It's been like a day. Whatever, we'll see if we can make it work. Please excuse the dust. I know that it's desperately in need of being cleaned. Ugh, I've got stuff kind of everywhere. And I've got my light and I've got everything going right now. I found out earlier last night, or earlier yesterday I should say, when I was looking at our joint again after we soldered it, that it's just not all the way into the solder joint. So today's stream is us fixing that as much as we can, because oh lord, am I ever gonna hate myself if yeah, so it just comes out. Okay, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna try to fix that. That's the goal, so we're gonna try to fix that. I'm gonna use the bigger solder this time, and I'm actually gonna use my flux instead of just dipping. Okay, where to leave off here? I gotta get the stream chat right in front of me. Oh lord, this is what happens when you're, oh my god, when you're a soul Astartes. Put on the laptop here, there we go. And Twitch, and then me, and then stream manager, and then hide that stream, and then view chat there. Okay, so this is probably charged enough. I'm gonna put my phone back on the charger. We'll just go from there and hope things work out. This is gonna be a short stream day because some things I have to take care of tonight. So we're gonna go until we're able to pick it up next time, I guess. We're gonna stream for probably, I'd like to say 2 hours. I have returned us back to the chill hop stream. I was not crouch struck last time. I thought it was, but it was not. It's just a matter of trying to keep on top of things. So that said, move this out of the way for now. I've got my solder here. I've got my soldering iron ready. Make sure you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm gonna turn myself down there. Almost had some loopback problems. That would have been fun. Okay, so can we see that? Yeah, we can. Perfect. It's kind of just aligned correctly. Cool. Alright, so how the hell do we get this in there? Because we need the negatives together, right? I might just touch them together, now that I think of it. And that might just be the solution. Just touch them together. Oh, I can kind of work it in. That might be a good solution too. Actually, let's aim for that. If you're wondering what we're doing, and you're just joining in now or watching the VOD later, what's happening is I'm currently making a modification using a candle LED to my Nexus Chaotica. So, last time I painted these sigils, I filled them with Corax White and some Lamine Medium and just wetted them down and filled them in. So they look pretty okay. Today the goal is, turn on. Today the goal is to have all these get some color on them so they light up. I rewatched an old Citadel painting tutorial, so we're going to be using a lot of Lamine Medium and some colors like Corn Red, Wild Red Red, and Fire Dragon Bright, and some Mephiston Red. And the goal there is to try and make them look like they're glowing. I might even come back with some Avalanche Sunset or a little bit of Flash Kits. I haven't totally sold myself on the yellows yet. I do want to put a touch of Dorn in there, just to really sell that it's, lit up. I have to work kind of quick here. These AliExpress soldering irons are good for like 20 minutes max. I'm just going to keep them bridged together. I'd say that looks pretty jank, but it will work, and that's all I need. It's just for it to work. Okay, so cool off, turn on. You know, that works. I'm not going to complain. Cool. That's all we need. It's just that LED to be able to be lit up. Why did I put this on its own circuit instead of just using the thing it came in? And the short answer is there. I wanted to be able to recharge this thing and just whenever I want to use it, just fuck it. Let's go to recharge it, throw it on the battlefield. You know, I don't want to have to replace batteries. You could keep this absolutely with batteries. I just don't want to. I'm one of those guys. And you know, I did one of these mods for the Razorback. I did one of these mods for my Knight. So part and parcel, right? Okay, so we have that. Good. That's a little charge circuit. We know it's good. Where we're going to put it is inside of this. Now, last stream, I marked out a little orange space here, and I started to power drill it where I want to put the opening for the USB-C charger. So, how I'm going to approach that is the same as I kind of alluded to last time, which is get the charger in here somehow. Probably facing like this, I would imagine. And I might have to carve a little bit more, but we'll find out. I don't really like the lip being there, but I don't really have a choice. Because I need the LED, because the lead is so short. I need to be here. Actually, if I can get it even to here, so I think I can carve up the board a little bit. And I'm okay with just letting the electronics sit loose beneath it. I mean, ideally I would have, you know what? If I'm okay with having the electronics sit loosely beneath it, maybe I'm okay with just having everything sit loosely beneath it, and then just calling it a fucking day. I think I just overthought this last time. So, yeah, I started to drill a hole for nothing, and I've got some orange on here now. I wonder if I could just scrape that off, maybe. You know what? I'm not going to spend the time and the effort doing that. What I am going to do is take some Corvus Black, which I have here somewhere, or maybe some Black Templar or something, or Black Legion, Corvus Black. And I'm just going to go over it. Using my fake golden maple, you know. It's a really crap brush. Doesn't work very well. I bought it on Amazon for dirt cheap. But all I'm doing is just flooding paint back and forth a little bit. And then come back with some water and just feather it out. And on the tabletop you won't notice anyway. It's so dark in that area that you wouldn't even notice. And even then, I'm going to come back with some like Abaddon Black layer and just go over top of it. So it'll look fine. Right. So how do I attach this? It's a good question. I've got this light, which I want to put in here. And I've got super glue. Well, I've got, I shouldn't call it super glue. What it is it's Cyracolite. But just a little bit of it on. Now, I don't have any Bob Smith right now. So, what I'm going to try and do, I think, is kind of orient this so that all the electronics are sort of just as flat as I can get them. Now, the annoying thing is that I basically have to hold this for a few minutes because I need the Cyracolite to dry. And it will. It absolutely will. Alright, this is a good time to find out what's kind of going on next. Because I have to wait for this to dry, so... This week is kind of busy. I've got a lot of things on my plate, a lot of things I want to do, a lot of things I'm going to do. I'm kind of almost rushing the Nexus Chaotica, and my reason for it is I would like to move on from this to the Sorcerer for AoS. The Sorcerer, I haven't got him out of the box yet, I haven't got him necessarily ready yet, but he'd be good for my army list, so I'd like to introduce him somehow. I can't put him in this for my round 4 of my league matches, but I can put him in for round 5. Assuming I lose. If I don't lose, that'd be great. I'd love to not lose, but let's see what happens. That said, oh, did the music just stop? What happened? What happened to the music? What happened? There it is. Wow, that was weird. Sorry, guys. Sorry, brothers. What happened was... right, so I need the Chaos Lord in there for the points for round 5. I'd love to win my next match, but we'll see what happens in round 4. Currently, my army list has a Chaos Spawn in it. I was sort of pushed to have one, and I think they're great. Honestly, I love the Chaos Spawn. I have one. My army list can fit another Chaos Spawn, or take it out and replace it with, like I said, the Chaos Sorcerer. Chaos Lord, rather. Or Chaos Sorcerer, sorry. I would love to have the Sorcerer in there because Plague Slaves to Darkness means I don't have any shooting. It just kind of sucks. You get no shooting whatsoever. It just is what it is. So, without any shooting, you're kind of at the mercy of everyone who can shoot, and you're kind of at the mercy of everyone who is stronger than you. I got absolutely tabled by a meme list last time for Corn, Blades of Corn. It was, even they had like a sorcerer on it, and someone that could do prayers. Slaves to Darkness can't do any prayers. I have no way of casting magic. Every list I've been up against so far casts magic to some capacity. Mine doesn't. Mine's purely brute strength. I just wanted to go in there and smash things. Would have been great to be able to go cast magic, but didn't think of that. Just sort of ad hoc it. So I want to get this off my plate as fast as I can, and get that sorcerer put together. And I'm almost ready to do that now. You know, I'm very deep into the painting on this one. I still need to do, like I said, we'll do, on the sigils here, we'll do Corn, mixed down 4-to-1 with Lamy Medium. Then we'll do Mephiston Red, 4-to-1 Lamy Medium. And then we'll do Fire Dragon Bright on the inside. Or Wildrider Red, then Fire Dragon Bright. I don't think I necessarily need yellow, but I might do Dorn. Just to sell that it's bright. Because they're sigils, right? Last stream we did the copper, and we did some of the flame touch-ups, and we did the skulls. They turned out really well, I feel. I feel they did. But it all comes down to subjectivity, right? Like I said. Let's see if I can do this here. I'm going to keep an eye on things. Especially in Twitch chat here. See what's going on. Third-party events, seal events in one place. Yep. Cool. Alright, so that might be dry by now. Nope, it's not quite dry. Oh, frig. So it needs consistent and constant pressure there for Saraclate. I don't have, like I said, I don't have my accelerator here. If I did, I would. It's kind of sticking. I can feel like the pull when I try to pull off. Nope. Maybe if I just put it upside down. No. Ay, 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 ay. I'm tempted to go grab my Bob Smith. Yeah, let me do that. Okay, Bob Smith, where are you? Okay, I can't find my Bob Smith. A well-trained Astartes once told me, be prepared. And they were a veteran of many of these paint positions. But we all have our battle scars. I would really prefer if I could clamp this, instead of having to push my fingers into it. I would prefer not to use my fingers if I could. I do have tape here. If I can push this here and then push some tape there, that kind of holds it. That's all I'm really looking for. And then just use this knife here. No, this is double-sided tape. It is double-sided tape, but you use what you got, and I ain't got much, so using what I have, I guess, is the short answer. I bought this on AliExpress, the double-sided tape. I wouldn't call it the greatest thing on the planet, because it's from AliExpress, and it was cheap. Okay, alright, so this is our first problem, is things want to move. Ergo the double-sided tape. Or not ergo, but, you know, thus the double-sided tape problem. So, that, actually, it doesn't fit too bad. Mostly it's the tape that's moving it around. Where did it go? Oh, you Xeno scum. Oh my god. A man chooses, a slave obeys, and I am a slave. How on earth, what in Terra am I doing here? What in the name of the Emperor? Swear, I swear. Oh, it's just that piece. Oh my friggin', come on. Come on. It's this goddamn... Hold. Okay, that's okay. I don't care if you're that way. As long as you're there, that's all I care about. Okay. Are we okay that way? Are you good? Are you good? I don't care if you're tilted. Well, I might later, but... Okay, look, here's part of the problem. Twist. Okay, actually, maybe I can use mechanical torsion to my extent. Aha! Okay, alright. That could work. Okay, I get an idea. Stay together. Stay together. Stay together. Stay together, you bitch. Okay. Come on. Come on. Okay, that's good. That is good. That is what we want, I guess. Okay, and then a pool of super glue in there. Just some cyanoacrylate. That should grip onto everything it can. It's going to take about 10 minutes, 20 minutes, because it's going to work its way through that. But keeping it together. Oh man, I am doing so good right now. Oh, the Emperor would be proud. Okay, I know it's hard to see. I apologize. It's off screen. It's because it's there. I'm going to use this opportunity to okay, making sure it's not going to burn my fingers off. To put my tools away, because I no longer need to solder anything. So I'm going to use this storage box that came with it. This is just a cheap soldering iron I got off AliExpress. And I say, when I mean cheap, I mean I paid $30 for this. Like, it was cheap. I wouldn't say it's great by any stretch of the word. Predominantly, and prime of which, because it only works for like 30 minutes at a time. And that's at full charge. At full charge, it takes like an hour to charge. You can kind of use it while it's charging, but when I tried, it would say it's working and on, but most times it just wasn't. So it's kind of a touch and go. If I was smart, I would have bought one, but it's what happens. I missed you burning yourself. I didn't burn myself. I almost burned myself. I got close. Didn't burn myself. I had to check to make sure I didn't burn myself. Also, welcome to the stream. Must be a slow day. I'm gluing things right now, as you can tell, and I'm so scared to move this because I have, you know, double-sided tape from China sitting on it to hold it together. Oh boy, I'm going crazy. You know what, I'm gonna put some of this stuff away. I've got like extra electronics on the bench, so I'm gonna put some of it away. I don't need this trash anymore. But I'll hold on to these because this is a charging board. It does work, it just looks like crap. And an extra battery, which we know is gonna work. So, into the box they go. Oh no, did I move it? Move it over there. I just need to stay together. Ah, lunch. Okay, cool. Well, if you're having lunch, I had a tuna snack kit today. That was my lunch. It's the fumes. Yeah, it must be the fumes. Going crazy off the adhesive fumes. I got these little nerd blasters, or nerd, clusters? Nerd clusters. Just my little work snack. Did my new workout today. Used Macrofactor's workout app. Not subscribed. Not sponsored. And that was pretty cool. It beat the shit out of me using 4 exercises. And those 4 exercises were probably the worst I've ever done in my life. One of them was, wanted me to do 3 sets of ab wheel rollouts and reverse planks. And I don't think I've ever wanted to kill myself more after doing an exercise than doing them. Like, it was just a shit show. I fucking... Anyway. Glad it's over with. We're gonna paint the top of the Nexus. Good lord. All my paint's drying out. There must be something with this room. I think it's getting... There we go. I think maybe the room's getting too, not dry, but, I don't know what. Something. It's getting something. So I'm using this more and more, I find, because it's good for, the dry paints, or the ones that, like, I need to always access. Wet paints, like layer paints, I could just pull them out. And they're too small to really care about, but stuff like this, like, I need to keep accessing it. So, again, thank you, because it's really helped things out a lot. Okay, good base brush. Lots of paint. Bring it back to life. Kind of chunky. Here's the one that we cleaned last time. Use this one instead. I'll worry about this one later. Golly. Our chains look nice and dirty after our last stream, which is kind of what the aim was. Need to print a smaller one. Yeah, well, I'd love to print it, but right now, even with the printer... Oh my fucking god, what a day I'm having with this fucking 3D printer. For those who aren't aware, I have a 3D printer, and I usually have it running in the background. Today I have it running for sure. And the reason why is because I'm trying to print a new accessory part to upgrade the printer, because it's an Ender 3, like, early model. So it's a new fan duct for the front. Sorry, for the fans. And the fans work okay by themselves, but I'm really struggling to, like, get my print cooled correctly on the left and right one. So I'm printing this thing and it's still stringing. I just can't get the temperature right. I can't get the bridging to work out correctly. Like, it is just becoming a real pain in the ass. And every day I get closer to purchasing a Bamboo Labs A1. But I'm consistent on getting this to work. And every time I bring it up to a third party to be like, what do I do about this thing? I get told, like, dry the filament. Just dry the fucking filament. And I'm like, I don't know if that's really the right answer. I mean, that's probably an answer, and it's probably the most consistent one that might solve all my problems, but drying the filament means buying a filament dryer, which is like $70 fucking, and I just don't want to spend that kind of money on it. Not yet, at least. I'm not that desperate for solutions. I mean, like, I've taken acceptable levels of, like, fuck this, you know? I gotta clamp some gold here. So, eventually I'll just get too pissed off and buy it. And then once everything's perfect, I'll be able to print one of these, because this is just FDM printed. Which is more annoying. But I do like this. I think that's what I'm trying to say at the end of the day here, is I do like this paint pot holder. Again, I don't see myself using it for every painting scenario, but for like paints that, like base paints, where I want to keep dipping them, especially the metallics, or for like the shades, like Earth Shade. Yeah, I absolutely want to keep using it for those. So I wonder if like maybe one's just okay. So the fun plan for this guy is that once this is painted gold, using Retributor Armor Gold here, I'm going to take a Stormhold Silver and just edge highlight it in some areas, and then cover the whole thing in Actress Earthshade, just to really sell that it's like dirty and old and XYZ. Much like with the chains. This one also has skulls in it, so they're like little micro skulls. They're kind of hard to see. But they are there. And so the plan is to get those skulls painted, and that'll happen after the fact. And again, we'll use Skeleton Horde and the Screaming Skull for that. It's my 1-2 punch combo for skeletons. So I'm kind of excited to paint Chaos Space Marines because of that. I only have the highest quality option to watch. Got some lag, but I think it's because I'm in the back office. That could be. Odd that it only gives you the highest quality option. I thought I downsampled it to 720, but maybe I told it to just stream it just the highest quality. Yeah, I gotta do some cleanup here with Abaddon Black, or Corvus Black, rather. Baby heads, yes! The tiny little baby heads inside this thing. For the Emperor! It makes me wonder, like, what kind of baby things? Like, do they have... Well, they must have infants. I mean, Jesus. It's the millennia, right? I would assume that they have infants. But I wonder if they're really using, like, ritual skulls from, like, just adults. I would imagine Korn wouldn't give a flying fuck. He would just be like, blood and skulls, who gives a shit? Give me them. You know, I got a coupon. That's my headcanon now, is that Korn is a Karen. It's just grocery shopping. I had a coupon for all those skulls. I need them for my throne. Imagine. Oh boy, the gold here is just getting a little much. All this to make it look like Hashnut Copper the long way. Why do it this way? Why not just use Hashnut Copper? Because it's too clean. That's the simple answer, it's just too clean. Oh, this stream, right. Maybe not this stream, maybe the next stream. I've got to settle in and make a cage to hold my casting, my mold making material. Because I need to remold the flame pit. Okay, we have a bit of gold in this now, so we're gonna do the top. Yeah, I've got to redo the flame. Like the rattle Hades gives Hercules in the beginning of the Disney movie, all skulls and spikes. Yeah, I love it. I'm excited to paint Chaos Space Marines. If I'm being honest, I'm kind of rushing through my AoS stuff because I want to get to the Chaos Space Marines, which means I got to finish my Razorback clipping and painting and gluing. Yeah, I want to get to the Chaos Space Marines because there's just so many skulls and spikes, and that's all they are, it's just skulls and spikes. The thing though, and this is what's kind of got me in a tither, I guess, is I don't know enough about Chaos Space Marines yet, and I feel like it's absolutely necessary that I figure out what they're supposed to look like. I mean, honestly, when it comes to the tabletop, you can just kind of say, here's what they're aligned to, who gives a shit, whatever. And it all comes down to your list. But I have a personal preference for how they're going to look, and that personal preference is that if they're aligned with something, I want to represent it. I would almost want like 4 boxes of these things. So I could do one in, you know, Zinich, Slanesh, Nurgle, and Khorne. And then maybe like a 5th one for like Undivided, but like, I just don't know. Because like, each one of them has like a different thing. So Chaos Space Marines are like, I found last night, like, Black Legion is basically the base. Then you've got Emperor's Children, more skulls and spikes, yes. Spikes for the Spike Throne, skulls for the Skull Gods. Yeah, so, like I was saying with the Zinich, there's Zinich, Nurgle, Khorne, and Slanesh Emperor's Children. Alpha Legion, I believe, is Zinich. I know World Eaters are Khorne. Death Guard are definitely Nurgle. And I think Undivided is use skulls like where I could. Just take a bunch of CSMs, apply a thick layer of glue, and then just dip them in, in skulls. Hey, it's done. You got a valid Khorne Legion out of that one. Surprised it's getting you this long of a lunch break. Or do you get like an hour because you're there for quite a while? Brush off a little bit. Sitting with that much paint on it for that long can't be good for it. Well, you can kind of see it sitting in there already. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday, Workbench Wednesday. Go back to work, have fun. Thank you, I will. Take care, have a good shift. Stay strong and for the Emperor. There. Okay. It's an opportunity for me to take a quick little break. Just so I can run to the bathroom. Okay, I'm back at it. Stuff's had some time to dry. We've covered up our mistakes using Corvus Black. Doesn't look like we missed any gold sections. Cool. Now, according to the box, I'll bring up the box art here. What they show is some highlighting here for the cracks. I don't know if that's totally necessary. I don't think things need to be perfect. I'm okay with acceptable changes. Did our glue dry? Almost. It's still drying. That's okay. We'll just let it sit for a while and give it time to dry. I know with Star Acolyte, the more pressure you apply to it, the faster it dries. Because what happens is that it removes all the air and replaces it with the glue. So we'll see. Okay. Last nerd cluster for a bit. Alright. Damn, these are good. Stormgold silver. This is a little dry. Should I get Vortex Shaker? Maybe. Oh lord. Yeah, this is chunky, to put it nicely. Okay, that's looking pretty rough. Might be time to buy some more. The thing I like about like these metallics is that you can, for lack of better terminology, you can smell them. So I'm going to put some storm hosts down here on some of these chains as well. You know what? I'm not. Let's highlight some of this gold here. Just going to just dance it up a little bit. Just kind of indiscriminately. And we're not going to really care about full edge highlighting. We're just kind of throwing it wherever it looks like the paint should be rough. So like we've scraped off some gold, you know, just down to the bare metal. Like cheap metallic bronze almost. Now I'm going to take a dry brush. Use the Citadel one. I think that's the one I want to use. Just a little bit. I'm just going to dry it out. Just on my paper towel here. And I'm just going to highlight some of these chains because they're almost too dirty. I want to sell that, like, some of them are dirty, not all. Because, like, again, the concepts that they've been underground potentially only fired up when they're needed, right? So really what we're doing is just selling the illusion that this is very, very much older. So the way I got tabled is, I'm trying to remember it all here. My opponent had, like I said, the meme army for corn. And he could shoot, like I said, which was very, very helpful, I guess, in his sense. But also, some things you could do that are very impactful to me was that he could strike harder. I also forgot a lot of things, like I could spend CPU to rally, but it didn't really matter because like my Demon Prince went in to try to attack, and my Demon Prince got absolutely destroyed within like 2 hits because he had strike first and strike last, or strike normals and strike first. So he could use that and abuse that using his points to hit my Demon Prince as hard as he wanted to, and he hit him for like 11 points, and then hit him again, and there was just nothing left, and he crit mortals, so it was like, fuck, I was just done the moment it came out. We'll get a chance, we're gonna use a little Corvus Black here, and just clean up just this area here. Get rid of some of that orange, and it just disappears. Like I said, dry brushing is kind of like the secret to 90% of painting stuff to look cool, because it makes a lot of things disappear. Like, here's some red. Oh look, it's gone. You know, where'd it go? It's just gone. I just cleaned it up. Still let they keep drying. It probably needs about an hour or 2 to dry. So I won't even touch it till tomorrow, kind of thing. Almost ready for another piece of paper towel by the looks of it. Need some water. We've been streaming for about an hour now, that's pretty good. Makes some good progress. Okay. Shade brush. Perfect. Egrix Earth Shade. And Null Oil. Why Null Oil? Tell you in a minute. Why are we doing our shades now? Because skeletons are going to be colored differently later. That's why. Shake the shit out of it. We also still have to paint these spikes. I think they're also going to be probably skeleton colors, if I have to be honest. I know in the box they're like white spikes. I like the idea that they're like spikes off of like a beast or something. But you know, Carcajax, yes, they have white spikes. I get it. I know. But if they look like bone, that could also be cool. Okay. You're gonna see that all the stuff we just painted, even with the silver, is gonna look super old. Because it'll make the browns pop a lot easier. And again, we're not being super gentle with the shade. We just kind of want it all over. See, it's already starting to pop. When I set this down to dry, which I'm going to do, probably just on top of here, in place, I would add, it's going to look pretty nice, because it's going to hold it upright. So because it's upright now we can start doing from the top down. So I'm going to grab a bunch of this. Just go straight down the spike. And again. All on here. And again, anything that doesn't look right, we can clean up later on. I'm not worried about it. It's already starting to look really good. Now what can I do to the actual sigil itself? Well, I can make it look even older than it is. That's what I can do. Why am I doing this? Well, the simple answer is because it just looks cooler once you have some shading in both directions. Because there's flames, right? Again, Earthshade is our friend, it's not our enemy. But we do have to be mindful how much and where. Some spots where it's appropriate, some spots where it's not. And that's it. Now we just let it dry. For now. But I said, no oil, right? I said, what am I doing with the oil? I'm glad you asked, because it is a shade. Right now I have Dragonhof Nightshade on these. But no oil is like a black shade, right? Where the heck are we going to put that? I'll tell you where. In some of our deeper recesses. The undercarriage of a lot of these spikes. Why? Because we want the dark to look extra dark. That's why. We're also going to be applying it to our chains too. These are oily, old, dirty chains. And that's why we did the silver first, is to help sell that effect. Put my finger in it, of course. We're also going to use it to pop these colors a little bit too. What? Not much. Just a little bit. It is a shade after all. We are trying to sell the effect that this thing is one solid color. Look at this. It's already starting to pop. That Black Templar I put on earlier, which is what this goes in. This is actually coated with Iron Hand Steel and then Black Templar over top of it, specifically so it looks darker and darker. It gives it like a little hint of green and blue in there. We're just really, like I said, trying to sell a story here. The story in my head is that this Nexus Chaotica is a summoned spell. To get it, they have to go through a process to go to the top of a mountain or to where this sigil lives. And they have to express to the, to whatever god they're pushing to that, you know, they want this to happen. And if they do it right, they get blessed. What's that blessing look like? Well, it looks like that. What's going on here? There we go. I think that's pretty cool. If I'm being honest, I think that's pretty cool. I know you can't see it from the top, so I'll try and tilt it a little bit, but this would be so much cooler once the piece has been resin cast. Because the resin cast will really hold all that light. Much like if I were to put this in there. You can kind of see it poking at the edges for light. Just a hair. Even if I turn off this light. I can usually just see it now. Well, it's definitely easier to see it now. It's no longer in place. I have yet to glue my Nexus Chaotica together. But that is the plan overall. Now, it's not as accessible for those controls like it is on the Razorback, because the Razorback, I purposely had all this material and all this time and space. Ooh, I still need to glue that in place. But it does have a space for LEDs. So, I took it upon myself to put all those LEDs in. Which is why it looks and is the way that it is. It is just a mess of wires. Like, it is crazy how much wires is here. And what these are is these are SMD LEDs that were pre-wired for like trains and stuff. Anyway. So that's also on the workbench. Yeah, again, today's going to be a short stream. We're not going to go too far. We're probably going to go for another 15 minutes or so. Then we're going to wrap it up. That null oil looks like it almost wasn't on, but it's definitely on. It had some darkness around here, which is kind of what we're aiming for. This isn't ready to be glued yet. The other thing is these sigils. They need to be painted. So, how do they look? 4 parts limy medium, 1 part corn. And we're going to take our top piece of Nexus Chaotica off and just put it aside because it's drying. And look, that Agrix Earthshade has already started to add depth and dimension to this. Like, exceptional. Exceptional. Set it up here. Okay, not going to use the wet palette, I'm going to use the top of the wet palette. It's dirty, I know. Not going to use the shade brush. But I will use the medium layer brush. And I'll put these 2 base brushes back. Now, we also have a Citadel glaze brush. That I might use. That's very tempting. It's a silicone tip, as opposed to these hair tips. Actually, let's try it. I've never used it. I've always owned it, Never used it. Don't know why. Okay. So, what does this look like? We're gonna grab one little pad of corn here. Maybe two. And then, look at that quick little rinse. Clean out the brush. Oh, it held all that color. It's like dyed. No worries, no problem. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, and one more for good luck. It's 9. Mix them all together and then apply the red. Just a little bit of the red. Until it's thin, 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 thin. Cool. It wants to roll off the brush. Good. A little discreet place back here. This is going to take a while because the lemmy medium takes forever to dry. And I'm just not being careful here, because the lemmy medium, it'll just dry almost like a glaze. Which is again why I'm using a glazing brush. the only thing I don't like about lambie medium, like it says, it just takes forever to dry. Now, I probably could have cleaned these up first before I start applying my corn. Yeah, I mean clean up, like just get rid of the overspread on the white. But I do kind of want that there. So it's going to help sell that it's hot. It doesn't look like much right now with the white. I will admit, it doesn't look like much of anything. Like it's almost basically just pink. But like I was saying last stream, every sigil burns a little differently. You know, light's not perfect. If light was perfect, it wouldn't look, you know, it would be too uniform. You need some variance, some difference in lighting, just to really sell that this is like in another place, like this is not intended to be doing this, right? I mean, like, you think about spells and magic, like, spells and magic are, you're asking the universe to do something that maybe someone else how to figure out how to do, and maybe it just doesn't, like, it's not supposed to do that. Even in, like, the Harry Potter universe, like, that stuff is, it's all heresy, right? But, like, that stuff is where they're asking the spells, or telling them, rather, to do something. It's up to the spell whether or not it chooses to obey. Like, just because you say the magic words doesn't mean the magic thing is going to happen. And so I sort of have this headcanon with this stuff that, like, the whole reason why their magic kind of works is because it's granted by Korn, and it has no choice but to make it work. You know, it's not just favor, it's demand. It's supply and demand. They supply skulls and blood, and they demand magic. My lambie medium's starting to dry up here. Oh, I don't want to get more. Not this close, because I'm, like, basically done. This is the other part. Oh, it's almost dry. Is that you need the glow. Oh, I'm gonna need some more lambie medium. Thankfully, not much this time around. just enough to bring it back to life. So what I'm doing is I'm selling that there's, you know, a glow here. OSL, rather. Huh. Okay. So it doesn't look terribly great right now. But the aim is not to be perfect. The aim is to get the color on, and we'll figure out the rest later. Because next is Mephiston Red. And then we have corn on this right now. We need Mephiston Red to really brighten it up. And we're gonna not use this brush again. I'm not a fan of it. We're gonna use the layer brush again. The regular layer one. And that's just because I have better control over the fibers and wick skin and everything. It's messy. But we still do this side too. So still lots to do. But I think for today, we're gonna call it right there. This is, like I said, it's been a short stream. That was kind of the intent going into this today because I just don't have a lot of time. And there's just too many things to do. However, I will go grab the thing and we're gonna do after we finish this on the next stream. and I was sure I had a Chaos Sorcerer. But what I do have for sure is this guy. What time do I stream usually? I like to stream, what time is it right now? It is 5:14 my time. I usually like to stream about 12 o'clock, so about 4 hours ago. Today is a little late getting into the stream, so I'm going to put up a schedule on my stream page here, but it'll be about 12 o'clock on Wednesdays. That'll be the guaranteed stream, as I'm just starting out. Also, Simple Dots, welcome to the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you joining in. You're just catching me right at the end here, but I'm going to talk more about what we're doing here next stream. Tomorrow I'm going to stream whatever time it is there, subtract 5 hours. That's when I'm going to start streaming tomorrow. And I'm going to try and do that every Wednesday for sure. And I'm going to try and do it a couple times a week. Yeah, sorry. But you're just in time to find out what's going on tomorrow. So, in what we did today. Today, we worked a little bit on our Nexus Chaotica, and I managed to fit in chilling for an hour, more of a lurker. Oh, well, thanks for chilling. Thanks for hanging out. So you've probably seen that we've got some work done here. And like I said, tomorrow is going to be our Chaos Sorcerer, or not Chaos Sorcerer. Tomorrow is going to be finishing this up if we can, and then Chaos Sorcerer after the fact. There's still a lot to do on the Nexus Chaotica, and then there's still a lot to do on the Rhino, or the Razorback rather. So I'm hoping that we can get this done and get this guy started, or I'll find my Chaos Sorcerer and get him started. And really, I think this is also going to count as a Chaos Sorcerer, so I'll check that out tonight and just verify that. And yeah, tomorrow it should be either this guy or the Sorcerer, I believe. And then it's going to be good for AoS for probably a little bit, not a long time, but maybe like a week or so. I do have a backlog. I've got a pretty good backlog of minis that I still have to get through, and some stuff I would like to get painted. I know you can see my desk, and it's just this mess of paints. So I do want to get some more stuff off my desk, specifically because I purchased a box of Chaos Space Marines I'd love to get into. I'm a Slaves to Darkness player, and so I'm moving into the 40k realm. I paint 40k for Black Templar right now, and I paint a lot of 40k things. I just haven't played it yet. But I saw a box of Chaos Space Marines, and I thought, I like playing Slaves to Darkness, so I'm going to try Chaos Space Marines. Anyway, that said, come back tomorrow, hit me with a follow, hit me with whatever you like, and that we can stay up to date. Oh, you did hit me with a follow. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And yeah, tomorrow we're going to get back into it. Like I said, today, right now it's 5 p.m. my time. So 5 hours ago I would have started. So whatever time it is your time, I'm going to put a schedule up on the Twitch stream here. But it'll be noon my time. So I look forward to seeing you then if you're there. If not, I'll be streaming for quite a while. I'll be streaming 5-6 hours probably. So feel free to pop in. We'll talk soon. Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you following. Appreciate you watching through. And praise the Emperor.